Alright, so this is probably the most important video of my how to program videos. So this is the evolved Mike Mentzer, Arthur Jones, high intensity method that typically trained by JP. I'd even say Paul Carter. Um, all your favorites, Nippard, all those guys, they're running some version of this. They might be a little bit higher volume, not training to failure as frequently. But this is the high intensity method. Every damn set to failure, form failure. We're not hurting ourselves. Um, a little bit of creds. I started training like this a year ago. I had 6 years in powerlifting, 2 years in Olympic lifting, probably 2 years of bodybuilding before all that. And I hopped back into bodybuilding in the past year. So this is exactly August of 23 and August or June, July of 24, around the same body weight actually. Sitting at about 178, 180, 510 in both of these. So you could see the upper back development, the lats, the spinal erectors, the delts, the front delts. The arms are more defined. Everything head to toe is better. Here's a little arm comparison. You can see the lateral delt is much more full. Did not give that rear delt enough love, but the triceps are much more developed. This one might be better lighting, better camera angle, maybe slight editing, but I took measurements during this and I put on 1.5 inches in my arms in an entire year. So, um, yeah, it works. It works. I definitely recommend that if you're going to train like this, do it in a caloric surplus, pick up that fork, and gain some body weight. You don't have to do it dirty. You don't have to gain too much body fat. Just, you know, put yourself in a surplus. Watch that scale go up half a pound a week. Call it quits when you think you're getting chunky, or sit at a certain body weight and train like this for a good while at maintenance, and you're going to see big results. I probably only pushed my body weight for 2-3 months during this, and worked out at maintenance for about 4 or 5 months, and then I had a really hard cutting phase where I probably lost some muscle, which is all of these right pictures are probably losing a little bit of muscle because I cut for way too long. Um, but yeah, so let's get into it. So the high intensity method. We got, let's start off with some volume guidelines. So depending on how many exercise you have per muscle group, typically around 4 sets is going to be enough training to complete failure per muscle group. So for chest, I might do 2 on a flat press. I might do 2 on a pec fly, and then I'm calling it quits for the day. If you truly know what it's like to push to failure, and like before your form breaks, and you know what that feels like, then this is going to put you in a whole different realm of training than you've been in before. That is a certain kind of exhaustion that you literally can't do 5, 6, 8 sets to. I know Solik does 8 sets for all of his workouts. He's following more of a bro split. He only trains those muscle groups like once every 4 or 5 days. We're training majority of these workouts. We're training these muscle groups after 2 to 3 sleeps. So having a full night of sleep 2 or 3 times. And a lot of this is following trained by JP. So shout out to him. I just thought, we put this in bro terms so everybody could understand it. So volume guidelines, 3 to 6 sets per muscle group per workout. Train all rep ranges. So that's the 3 to 5 range, the 5 to 9 range, the 10 to 12 range, the 12 to 15, the 15 to 20. That's typically all the ones that I use. So there's certain ways you can do this. You could train them in the same workout for that muscle group, or you can progress with it. So for instance, training the same workout, I might have a 3 to 5 set on my flat bench. I might have a 5 to 9 set. I might have a 10 to 12 set. All right, we got this covered. My pec flies, I might have a 12 to 15 and 15 to 20. Cool, we covered all the rep ranges. If you want to do this long term, you could start in that 15 to 20 and taper down as the weeks go. So that's another way to do it. The less frequent you are training a muscle group, the more sets you can handle. So yeah, like I brought Sulik up, for example, he trains every muscle group 8 sets per muscle group. If I were to do that, I probably need at least 4 to 5 sleeps before I did that again if I wanted to progressively overload. So for me, I follow an upper lower. I'm hitting that muscle group 2 to 3 times in a week. So for instance, like Monday, I had 5 sets on chest. Thursday, I have 4 to 5 sets on chest. Fully recovered for my workout Saturday, which only has 2 sets on chest. I'm not really thinking about weekly volume of sets. I'm thinking about, can I recover well enough? What can I recover from in each workout that I can train that muscle again as soon as possible with the same intensity? Um, if your question should never be in a workout, okay, how much can I do? It should always be, how little can I do and progress? How little amount of sets do I need to grow? Minimal effective dose is the name of the game. So, um, yeah, bro split the most sets, full body the least sets, upper lower the middle ground. So full body, yeah, least sets, 1 to 2 sets. You're training that muscle group 4 times a week. Progressive overload. How do we add weight sets reps per week so that we know that we're progressing? So in this method, I personally only add like 2.5 pounds each movement, each set, each week. So a progression, for example, would be on my upper lower. If we look at my single leg press right here, 6 plates for 10 on that first workout, 7 plates for 10, 8 plates for 8, 8 plates for 10, 8 plates for 10 plus another 8 plates plus a 10 for 10, 8 plates plus 15 for 10, 8 plates plus 20 for 10, 8 plates plus 25 for 10. So that one's a compound exercise. I feel like I can add weight a little bit easier, but that's an example of a progression. And I'll typically run this dry until I literally can't add weights or reps anymore. So there's 3 different kinds of progressing. There's adding weight, there's adding reps, and there's improving form. If you're doing one of those, then you're progressing each week. Adding as little as 1 pound and trying to hit the same reps as the previous week is what I'm aiming for in my workouts, or using the same weight the next week and just trying to add a rep. So another way I'll progress is I might use 200 pounds on bench and I hit 6 reps. I'm going to keep using 200 pounds until I hit 9 reps, and then I'm going to reset down to 6 with 205 pounds. And I'll rinse and repeat until it runs dry. I think my first time ever doing this, I did incline Smith bench, and I hit 185 for 8 on my first workout, and I ended at 245 for 7 over a long period of time. But so technically adding weight and improving strength in a movement does not directly correlate with hypertrophy. But if you tell me, is that muscle going to be forced to grow over time if you keep doing that for a long period of time? I think so. So what are the mechanisms of hypertrophy? Is it mechanical tension? Is it progressive overload? Is it your sarcomeres lengthening and shortening and blah, blah, blah? It's not muscle tears. We know that's not it. All I know is that this method worked for me and muscle was built over time. Very, very low volume, too, of each workout. The big thing is consistency and keep on hammering and never miss a workout. That's a big thing. Always show up, and picking up the fork. But yeah, I'm getting sidetracked. So now let's dive into my program and how I would design my workouts. So it gets pretty easy here. Weighted crunch, 2 sets, 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 2 sets. Cool. All right. So reps. So if we look at chest here, this is technically a tricep iso, and this is technically a tricep iso. We got 4 sets there. We got 2 sets for biceps, 4 sets for back, 2 sets for rear delts, 2 sets for lateral raises. Extremely low volume in the grand scheme of things. When it comes to reps, it's a little bit more nuanced. Like I'm going to do probably in the 10 to 15 for abs, just because that's what I like to do. Would I do a 3 to 6 rep progression for abs? I don't know. It might work. Maybe I should try it. I'll let you know. Gloff pull down, I would probably do a 10 to 12, 10 to 12, and a 12 to 15. Y raise probably around the same. Incline bench. I'm trying to actually gain strength on this one, so I'm doing 3 sets of 5 at RPE 8. We'll get into powerlifting programming and the higher volume methods like Israel and what Renaissance periodization uses, or Jeff Nippard in a different video. But then we got narrow plate loaded flat. I've only been doing 1 on this one, and then we're doing 2 sets in here. So we have 5 total sets for bench, with only 2 of them actually being the failure, with these being more volume, not training completely to failure. And yeah, so I'll pretty much rinse or repeat this. I might have a lower rep range in some of these, like 5 to 9, 10 to 12. So kind of a strength lower rep set. I forgot what research study it was, but it showed that you only really need 5-6 reps to complete failure to exhibit hypertrophy. That's probably just some Paul Carter regurgitation, which a lot of people agree with him. But if you read his Instagram captions, I feel like he's got some gold in there. But the point of all of this is take parts that you like from my videos or from people you see on Instagram and apply them to your own. You don't have to just completely adopt someone's style of training. But yeah, so 5 to 9, 10 to 12. We'll go the same on these. Leg raise, probably go the same here. Same here. Honestly, probably the same as this here. Same. Probably go the same as this here. I'm not quite sure what I'm doing on the barbell bench yet, but we'll probably only have 1 set on here because it's going to be a higher sets on that. Because I'm training for a 350. I want a 315 bench as well. So I do have some strength goals on the side to this training method this time around. But both these pictures, I did not have any strength goals. Pretty much every single rep scheme was 5 to 9, 10 to 12. So we know that works. And it might be a little bro science saying, oh, it worked for me, it'll work for you. Well, if you train this way, you push your body weight up, and you progress every workout, then it probably will work for you. Cable fly. So anyways, you kind of get the point. I'm going to have a strength set. I'm going to have a higher rep set. So how would this look in progression? So let's go. So I've been trying to split out for 2 weeks now. Let's look at. All right, so here's where I track my weights the past few weeks. You can see some notes where, this is kind of how making your own program goes. Like, oh, I found some things I don't like that I wrote down that I'm going to change. Maybe some rep ranges I don't like either. But this is as simple as it gets for the progression. 60 times 9 reps, 60 times 10 reps the next week. 50 times 11, 50 times 12. 30 times 15, 35 times 12. 35 times 10, 40 times 8. And then the progression resets. I'm going to try to hit 35 for 13, 40 times 9. And I'll keep going and keep going and keep going until I literally can't. I wait till I stall for 3 weeks on a movement before I change it out. Or until I get really bored, then I might switch the whole split. Which I'm already thinking about because I'm a little bit ADD with my programs. But what I will do, though, is a lot of these progressions are stolen from previous progressions that I had in different programs. So I never fully reset. My single leg press that I still have in there on this day. This was picked off of 5 weeks of progression before that starting number. But yeah, so added 2.5 on my lat pull down. I literally took a 2.5 and I pinned it in there on the pull down, hit the same reps. Then I added a set because I thought I could handle more volume for the week before. So this is the beauty of changing your own program. Add sets, delete sets. I mean, if you feel like you don't have enough volume in there and you're training completely to failure, add a set. See how the next workout goes if you can progress your weight. But yeah, everything to failure. Add weight, add a rep, improve your form, pick up the fork, drop a like, leave a comment. That's high intensity training. But yeah, drop your split below and your questions. Pick up the fork. Peace. I can't figure out how to end the video.